Go. Be live. Ta-da! Look at that, right on time. I'm so proud of myself. I'm figuring this all out. Welcome. Episode 11, Randsanity. Look at that, right on time. I can schedule these things now, let you know when it's going to happen, and gosh darn it, I can go live. Well, today was an exciting day. Lots of stuff happened, good and bad. The bad was we lost Brian Wilson today of the Beach Boys. So that'll be my music review story since I've seen the Beach Boys. And I have a funny story about where I saw the Beach Boys for the first time. Also, don't even forget, today would be Wednesday. It is the strawberry moon, so it's a full moon. So if you're feeling a little crazy out there, it's because lunacy and lunatic is, again, according to me, is because since we're so much water and the moon pulls the oceans and you get the high tides, it pulls at the water and us and makes us crazy. That's why there's so much more weird stuff that happens during full moons, because we are lunatics. Who knew? According to me. Like and subscribe. This. And right, if you're here, you're watching it, hit like. Because I have 3 people watching and no likes. What the hell, people? Work with me. Trying to get the numbers up. And at some point I will get these transitioned and posted over to the Randsanity channel. And other things will go over there as I start to get better with my editing. To that end, though, I did get the forklift incident of Saturday edited to a reasonable length that I think's okay. I put a little sound in it, a little stuff. But that was the forklift incident at Costco when we got ice for the Columbus Summer Wine Festival, which was sold out and a great, great day. So remember, Thursday, Heinz Verified. The link is in the bio, so you can go look for that. Aloha, Don Aloha. So you can look for that. Remember, because I'm the co-star. I was brazen today. So the first episode, I had 2 title cards. The second episode, I had no title card, as far as I know, unless you see it and you tell me otherwise. Third episode, no title card. I'm like, yo, am I getting too popular? They putting the thumb on me, pushing me down, keep, the man putting me down so I don't take away from the thunder of Stephen He. Not that he's got 13 million subs. I have 578. Let's get real. But anyway, so I did, in fact, today push and say, hey, who do I have to bribe to get a title card? Wink. So Thursday will be the first episode in Cleveland. That'll be the breakfast episode in Cleveland. So Cleveland was rainy. The entire time we were in Cleveland, it rained. So it felt very Ohio. Very dreary. Lots of rain, and just rain and more rain and rain and rain. And Chicago was not, which was surprising because it was still early in May and it was warm and beautiful and sunny and people were like, this is so out of context. But I'm like, yeah, don't care. Gorgeous weather. But we'll talk all about that one. Pittsburgh, we've talked about already. But we'll definitely talk about episode 4 after tomorrow because it previews on YouTube at 8 p.m. So check that out. I usually try and make sure I see it at 8 p.m. because I want to see. It's me, my ego. I want to see that. So, okay. So we lost Brian Wilson today, unfortunately, of the Beach Boys. The first time I saw the Beach Boys was in New Jersey, where I saw a lot of the first shows because that's where I kind of came from. And we saw them at a place called the Garden State Art Center. Okay, I think it's now PNC Bank or some, with everything sponsored. But it was the Garden State Art Center. It looks like a spaceship. It's an outdoor amphitheater similar to like Blossom or some of these other ones. Old school. It's been there for a long time. Funny things about the Garden State Art Center. It is Garden State, but the security is the state troopers because there's a trooper headquarters in Holmdel, New Jersey, just down the street. So that's who does all the the traffic and all the parking and everything else. because normally you have like T&P people, but no, there's actually State Highway Patrol from New Jersey. And I don't know if you've ever seen Google New Jersey State Troopers. You know, they've got like this leather strap across and their blue outfits and their pleated pants. And yeah, they look like they came from some other place. New Jersey State Troopers are a thing to be reckoned with, not. But funny story about the Garden State Arts Center is that not too long ago, some years ago, but I was with my friend Fred. And Fred's, I grew up next to him and his brother John and Fred, the Bustlers. So he picked me up and we went down to a show there. And he had a minivan at the time. And we got there a little bit late. You know, the show hadn't started yet. We were starting to head in. And as we were sort of pulling into the parking lot, we saw a state trooper, you know, driving pretty fast. And behind him was like one of the small vans, like a small bus, a transport bus, and then like two vans. So clearly it was like, you know, the band or something that was being shuttled into it. So I was like, Fred. I'm like, go, put in your headlights, hurry up, just, you know, speed and catch up with these guys and stay right behind them. Because as this trooper is going, they're just opening the barricades up and headed toward the backstage. So I'm just like, just go. So we did. He got right behind the van, so it was like this procession. It was like state trooper, transportation van, like van, us. So we zoomed all the way, didn't pay obviously for parking, zoomed all the way in, and as we got like where it sort of was like, you know, the edge of the parking lot, the front section of parking lot where everyone's tailgating and partying, and the entrance to the buildings right there, and then sort of the backstage, you know, with someone who opened the gate and is like waving them through, we peeled off. We just like peeled off and immediately parked, and we were right there at the entrance. And the other bands just kept on going, and they went backstage. So yeah, again, sometimes you have to make your own destiny. Bring your own cone, because sometimes it actually works. Sometimes you get busted, and then you have to beg for forgiveness. But you know, sometimes begging for forgiveness as opposed to asking for permission. Kind of the mantra. But yes, that's a funny story about the Garden State Arts Center. Another funny story is that we also went to go see a show there once. We went to go see Jimmy Buffett. And one of my friends was wondering where the food was because he thought it was buffet. Jimmy Buffet. Like, where is the free food? Not kidding. True story. Swear. I will not disclose who that was. But yes, actually I can. I think that was Michael Lesniewski. Unfortunately, Michael's left this, shed his mortal coil at this point. But yes, we're the Jimmy Buffet. But that's sort of also a very funny story, dovetailing off of wordplay. We went to an event. We went to a patron party. And my friend Jordan was like, where's the tequila? And we were like, huh? Where's the Patron? Where is the Patron? No, it was a patron party. There was no tequila. So wordplay. Careful what you read and how you look at it, because you never know. That's going to get you in trouble. Okay, so it was the other day National Forklift Day. And I told you all I would get a video of it. So I did videotape. I had the GoPro with me, had it in my pocket. So it was sort of like stuck in my pocket, just kind of videotaping outward. And at one point, the one guy goes, "You're not videotaping this?" And I'm like, "No, not at all." Clearly I was lying because I videotaped it. So I edited it down to within, I think it's just under a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and let you watch this. Hopefully the audio is piped through the computer. I checked it and I couldn't hear it, so I'm assuming you're going to hear it. So this would be the Costco incident from the other day. Gavin is the guy driving. I will narrate a little as it goes through, but Gavin was the guy driving. This was his trailer that we picked the ice up in to go to the Columbus Summer Wine Festival. So without further ado, here's some video editing skills of me. So that's 2,000 pounds of ice. There's Gavin. So you can see the forklift is stuck in the door of his trailer. So at some point they got 3 forklifts to try and get it, which didn't work. So then these guys they just couldn't figure it out. So that was me, and I was directing them. I said, just lift it up and we'll drive forward. So ta-da! That's what we did. So Gavin just drove the truck forward. And then obviously I thought this would be completely hilarious. That would be Gavin, amused by all of this. So there you go. Rightly so, that was the video of the ice incident. We in fact ruined the trailer, and it will require the not only the wood to be replaced on that door, but there were some tire marks on the exterior metal of it as well. So we're going to have to deal with that at some point. But yes, that was the incident right there. I'm a day to review, but thanks for doing these, Randy. Let's go Pacers. Oh yeah, right. I was watching that a little bit. Halftime seemed very close. There's definitely a how many forklifts does it take joke in there somewhere. Right, 3 apparently. 3 forklifts. But we got it off, and we then continued on, and we took our 2,000 pounds of ice, my ton of ice, because I remember I kept on saying, I need a ton of ice. Well, it was actually a ton of ice. That was the whole point. Ton of ice. So, like and subscribe. Like this video because you're here. I see 1 like, so you can like it. And then subscribe to this video. To this place, this thing, Randsanity. It's also a video channel. I want to get to my 1,000 so I can start monetizing it. Okay? This isn't cheap. And I don't have a job. Well, I mean, my job is doing handyman stuff. And I videotaped me clearing out the evaporator hose on a car this evening because it's the car that I drive and it smells very musty. And apparently, Googling it, it said to clean and replace the air filter in the glove compartment, the cabin air filter, which I did, which was really, really dirty. I did not videotape that part because it was gross and I didn't want people to realize, wow, I don't think I've ever changed that. And if you don't know where those are, have somebody change it for you because that's where the air comes from the outside and gets into the cabin that you breathe. Mine was clogged. Very dirty. Dirty, not great. But also, it wasn't really dripping very much when you put the air conditioner on. It should have a big puddle of condensation, so it's been smelling musty. And after doing all the reading and the Googlings and the YouTubings, apparently the little hose can get clogged, and then it can get stinky and musty and smell like stinky boy. And that's what it kind of smells like. But I'm like, no, I'm not stinky, so what the F is going on, and why is the car smell because of that? So I think I got it fixed. I cleaned the hose out. It was then dripping water, and I was very close, like the thing was there. I burned myself a couple times because I did have the engine running, so the exhaust got really hot, because if you want to see the dripping of a hose from an evaporator coil on an air conditioning unit, it has to be working. The only way to get the air conditioner to work is to have the car running. So as I'm reaching around underneath there trying to find this ridiculously small hose, I in fact hit the exhaust a couple of times in different parts of my hand, and it was a little sizzle. I may have expletived a couple of times in there just because it was hot and it wasn't great. But that was sort of the thing today. So I have a what grinds my gears from Family Guy today. So I got a letter from the city. The city told me that it's required. This is not an option that I have to get a new water meter. I was like, okay. Now, here's the funny part, okay? They wanted the water meter at the building that used to house the radio station. This thing has been empty now for months, and I'm hoping to have some really good news in about a week that I'll then share, but I don't want to jinx it, so I'm just going to about that. But so I'm like, well, there's no one in the building. The building's abandoned. It doesn't matter. We have to get changing it. I'm like, okay, whatever. And the first call I made, I talked to an AI assistant. It was a girl, but she was not real. It took me a couple minutes to figure out because the way she answered the questions, she was fast. But then I asked an offshoot question and she didn't answer it correctly. And I'm like, okay, you're not real. And then she even said, let me get to a real person. I'm like, oh, so you know you're not real. Self-awareness. That's the next step in the AI robot takeover. Telling you. And I did forget the bobblehead and I did forget my license plate. I know, I suck. I gotta write that down. I did write it down. Actually, see, I wrote that down last night. I mean, I believe I made that note last night somewhere and I still didn't do it. Crap. But anyway, so, okay, you know, I fine. You just, come and install a water meter. So I asked very politely when I spoke to the woman that, okay, so is this like cable TV? You know, are you going to give me like 8 to 12 and, you know, maybe we'll show up? I'm like, because no one's there. I'll have to make a special trip and I've got stuff I have to do because, you know, that's how I earn money is working. So if I'm not working and I'm not on the clock, I'm not getting paid. Because it's not like an hourly job. So if I'm not, you know, swinging a hammer or putting up a screened-in porch today, or painting or drywalling or doing something else, rehabbing the house, I'm not getting paid. So no, we'll set an appointment and you'll be fine. I'm like, okay, great. So they set it for 11 o'clock. And guess what? They send the little text to me that says, no, we moved to 12. I'm like, fine. Technician's on his way. I'm like, okay. It's 12 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock. I'm like, okay, I've been here for now 2 hours and I have no technician. So now it's 1:30 and I'm calling. I'm like, hey, so what's going on? Are you guys doing are you coming? Is this going to happen? Or is someone actually going to show up here? And that, blah, blah. I'm like, no, you're missing the point. You said 11. No one's here 11. You said 12. No one's here 12. It's now close to 2. So your 12 to 2 window is going to close here in less than half an hour. Can you check in where this technician is, please? So she's like, of course, let me check. I'm like, okay. She goes, I can't reach him. I'm like, what do you mean you can't reach him? You send me a text saying he's on his way. Well, apparently he's not on his way because you can't reach him. Well, maybe he's in a basement doing some work. I'm like, wait a second. If he's in a basement doing some work, then how exactly is he on his way? Now I'm trying to be polite. And I even said, look, I'm not mad at you. It's just, this is kind of wasting my day. Well, do you want to make another appointment? I'm like, no, I don't want to make another appointment. No, I don't. So 2 o'clock came. I call back. I'm like, hey, so now it's been 3 hours. Okay. And the text says on his way. You send me a picture of this guy. So I know who he is in case for security. I'm like, great. But there's no phone number to call him. Can you call and find out what's going on? And again, we can't get in touch with him. I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. I was like, seriously, he's on his way. He's been on his way now for how many hours? And you can't get in touch with him. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, I'm not going to wait. Okay, I'm going to leave here. Well, we can make another appointment. I said, no, actually, I'm not making an appointment. I said, you guys are the ones that sent me this letter saying I have to do this. You're the one who sent the appointment and you broke it. You're the one who can't find your tech. So unfortunately, you know what? You can send me another letter and demanding that it happens with the city because I'm no longer standing around and doing this. This is ridiculous. And then I said, thank you so much. And I hung up the phone. So I did not make another appointment. So I'm not getting a water meter installed anytime soon, just for the fact that I'm like, this is ridiculous. Sorry, that was my vent. My other vent was, where's my DYFJ shirt today, which again, at some point you'll be able to get the Randsanity shop. But so I have an appointment. I have to get tires for a car tomorrow. And which, wow, holy expensive. But so I set an appointment for 8 o'clock in the morning. I'll get up at 7. I'm going to bring donuts because it's their first appointment. You do nice things. I actually worked in a Goodyear tire shop in my youth, changing flat tires and stuff. And I remember when people would give me a tip, here's $5. You're like, dude, $5, that's awesome. Or the business guy would give you a joint and be like, hey, here, dude, hey, kid, look, here you go. Be like, oh, all right there, old dude with his briefcase. Still remember that. He had a alligator briefcase, and he was in a gray suit, and he drove a Mercedes, and he was sort of this old hipster for sure. some 60s throwback. But he was like, dude, here you go, man. He's enjoying. I was like, oh, cool, man. I mean, I was like, I don't know, 17 or something, 18, who knows? Working as a grease monkey, trying to earn some after-school dollars or whatever. But so yeah, I'm gonna bring some donuts. I'm gonna stop at Buckeye Donuts and get a dozen donuts and take them down. But I get a text again later this afternoon. Your appointment's been canceled, and I'm like, okay, I didn't cancel this appointment. You can just come pick up your tires anytime still. I'm like, no. I paid for installation. I paid for balancing. I paid for all the stuff, the disposal fee and all this stuff. I'm like, whoa. So I just happened to be close to the tire place. So I just drove over there. And I'm like, hey, I just got a cancellation notice. Such a meeting. We don't have any appointment for you at 8 o'clock. I'm like, yeah, well, I want my appointment at 8 o'clock. Wow, we can't make an appointment at 8 o'clock because it won't let us. And he shows me the computer. I'm like, right, because that's probably when my appointment was supposed to be. I don't want to come at 8:30. I want to come at 8 o'clock when I was supposed to come. So he's like, well, we didn't cancel. I'm like, well, I didn't cancel it. I was like, why would I cancel an appointment? He's like, well, we're updating computers. Maybe it did automatically. I'm like, so your computer is just randomly, AI taking over. You're randomly just, deleting things? I'm like, okay, great. He's like, oh, we'll take care of it though. Ben. And then he was like patted me in the chest, like, cool. And I'm like, seriously? Ben. So I will be getting tires at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I will be bringing Buckeye Donuts because, that's what you do. You got to bring donuts to people. Speaking of donuts, today was, in fact, German chocolate cake day. And I did go get some German chocolate cake, as I said I was going to last night, because for the fact that it's German chocolate cake, what the hell? How am I not going to do that? So I was down in German Village, which that's in Columbus. There's a place called German Village, and they've got a German restaurant called Schmitz, and I had German chocolate cake, and I'm like, yep, I'll take a slice of that. Thank you so much. It was delicious, just so you know. Had the exact same thing happen with the water meter thing. They finally showed up on the third day. On the third day? Yeah, that ain't happening. There's no way I'm going to, nope. Yeah, ridiculous. Sorry, customer service. I was like, this isn't on me. I don't need this, so this is going to have to work on your schedule. You're going to have to be down there waiting on me for 3 hours, and then I'll show up. And be like, oh, were you waiting long? But yes, so it was National Corn Day, Corn on the Cob Day today. Did not have corn. I had a little corn, not on the cob though. It was roasted corn. It was in a chicken thing, an enchilada. So I don't know if that counts. Does it count? Maybe, not sure. But I had a little bit of corn. But I did have the German chocolate cake, which was delicious. Tomorrow is, okay, some of these there's a lot. It's National Loving Day. I didn't look at what the explanation was. I'm just throwing that out there. National Loving Day. It's also National Child Labor Day. And I was like, when I first read it, I'm like, are we trying to have child labor or we not want child labor? So I think it's the no child labor. We don't want child labor. So it's the awareness of child labor day, as opposed to Child Labor Day, which I said, well, maybe it should be awareness for Child Labor Day. Anyway, I digress. It's Peanut Butter Cookie Day. So tomorrow I'll definitely get peanut butter cookies, since we were talking about peanut butter and jelly last night and the night before. But I will get some peanut butter cookies. And finally, the last one I saved, it is, ready for this one? It is Jerky Day. So I don't know if that's prank phone call people if you want to be jerky or the meat. It's also Great Dane Day, but not the dog. It's if you know someone named Dane that is great, which I was like, what? Is that for real? So yeah, whoever makes some of these national days up, man, you have way too much time on your hands. I'm just saying. That's some BS right there. I'm sorry. I'm calling that one Great Dane Day. If you're seriously, I don't think I know a Dane. I don't think I know a Dane. That's just me. But that's just. So appointments canceled with no reason. Appointments not withheld or showed up for with no reason. So yeah, I was batting 1,000 today when it came to appointments. I'm just hoping tomorrow morning when I show up at 8 o'clock, Ben is there to accept my donuts and helps me actually get in and out of the door quickly, because I don't want to sit there, because I'm going to wait, clearly, because it's the only car I can have access to. And I'm not going to drive a car and come and get a car and then pick it up later. But it is close enough to Home Depot that I'm going to walk across the parking lot to Home Depot, and I'm going to pick up some screen. I need to get 84-inch screen for a giant porch screen window that I'm putting together, which I did one today, and it looks damn good. First time I screened in a porch, not gonna lie. Looks good. I think I'm gonna have a very, very happy customer with this one. So, hey, you know, fake it till you make it. That's where I'm at half the time. So, do you want to? I totally know how to do this. I could do this, no problem. No idea what I'm doing. No idea. Read the tutorial, watch it on YouTube, and go, yeah, I can do that. I can totally do that. So, yeah, I do not have imposter syndrome, unless, in fact, I am the imposter, and that's the syndrome. I don't feel like the imposter syndrome. Like, I guess that's, you know, when you feel like you don't belong there because you're an imposter. Oh no, I am an imposter, and that is a syndrome. So I think I have it the different way. But that's, again, neither here nor there. It just is what it is, and it is part of the Randsanity that makes me so me. Did I talk about Heinz? Did I talk about episode 4 coming up? And the fact that I went ahead and told people to make sure you add me and show another title card for me. So please go to that Heinz Verified that is in the title of this, subscribe to that, or at least watch the video, and then make a comment about my awesomeness. Oh my God, he was so good this episode. Is Randy ever going to get fed? There seems to be this ongoing joke that I get like a 1-bite hit from the food because he forgets to feed me. So that's where that's at. I know I do get some good time when we're in Chicago. I think the director and the producer started to get used to me at that point. I don't think they knew what to make of me at first because I was the driver. That's what I got hired to be. I don't think they knew what to make of me, which most people don't. I'm not one of the people that makes these great first impressions. I can make a really good first impression, or I can make a really bad first impression. I have a friend I actually visited when I came across the country. He lives in Utah. Dr. Fred White. Probably will never see this, that's okay. But my college roommate, you're gonna love this one too. His name was January. Hand to God, January. Wound up retiring from the Marine Corps as a full bird colonel, okay? And that was my college roommate, January. Cleveland guy, wrestler, about this big, little stocky bull. Hilarious though, great guy. Still a good friend with him. Talked to him, sent him some glasses because he was having to take off his prescription readers and put on sunglasses. I'm like, dude, they make bifocals. I buy them on the internet. They're like $20 for 3 pairs. So I sent them to him and he's like, it has changed my life. How do you not know this stuff? But anyway, Fred was Jan's best friend. They knew each other from school. And I don't know if I was the president at that moment, but I was something with Ski Club. I was maybe the social chairman or something. And, you know, I'm an acquired flavor. Let's just be real, okay? Everyone doesn't love me first time they meet me. I can be a little abrasive. You know, it's that whole ADHD thing. Whether I'm an adult or a child, you know, I've got a little bit of boundless energy, and I can be a little abrasive, like, you know, smooth like burlap. But anyway, I guess Fred, Dr. White, Fred, met me through Ski Club, and basically was just like, what a jackass this guy is. And then later that same night, I believe it was the same night, Jan introduced me to his friend Fred. And I was like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? And he was at our home, which is completely different, you know, because you're not on. So, you know, I'm just me at home. And I just, you know, hey, you want something to eat, want something to drink, and just, you know, kind of toned it down. So we're friends now, but he loves telling that story about, oh my God, I thought you were the biggest jackass ever. I'm like, well, I am. So how is this shocking to you or anybody? I'm not calm. I don't know what that is. I've never been. I don't think I'm about to be. My mom always said, Randy, when are you going to mellow? And I said, Mom, mellow? I said, like, I'm a bottle of wine and the cork cracked and the air got in and I'm just spoiled. I said, I'm not like, I'm not going to mellow with age. The air got in a long time ago and I'm just vinegar at this point. So that's where it's at. I digress, but that's what I do. Remember, that's kind of the point. Digression. So again, we're talking about Heinz, Thursday, episode 4, Breakfast in Cleveland. Do check that out. I think Stephen opened up a little bit on the drive. We spent a few hours together and started talking. He's a smart guy. Told me something interesting. Now, this is an interesting thing. I don't know if I said this already. So Stephen was born in China. He's Chinese. And his mother immigrated to Ireland. And so did he at a very young age. Now, so he is Chinese Irish. And I believe he is an Irish citizen. But this is where it gets interesting. So I guess there's only 4 countries, I may be wrong, but again, according to me, there's 4 countries that don't allow dual citizenship. North Korea, I think, is one. China being one, and a couple others, I think Philippines or something else. So Stephen doesn't have a Chinese passport. He only has an Irish passport because, again, he's Irish. So, in part and parcel, his family disowned him. So he said when he goes home, because he visits family in China, if they talk about family things, they go in the other room and don't include him. Because they don't consider him Chinese anymore because he isn't an actual Chinese citizen. Which I found to be very interesting and a little sad at the same time. Like, wow. It's very much a cultural thing. In America, we don't give a crap. Whatever, man. Come on, let's go. It's Thanksgiving. Let's get drunk and, Uncle Stephen's going to tell us inappropriate stories. I have an Uncle Stephen, and he probably would tell inappropriate stories. Love him, but that's, come on, it's real. But I just found it to be a little sad that he's, I don't want to say disinherited, but it's sort of this separated, wayward way. But yeah, he shared that and shared some personal things, and he's a very interesting guy, really smart. Definitely, he practices very much his craft of YouTube and being a comedian, and his shorts and his videos and all of his stuff, and it's good. I learned some things from him, and I hope that we're able to correspond and continue to talk. He had a really interesting assistant. Her name was America, and she was very nice, and I got the biggest kick because she showed up when we were in Cleveland. I got the biggest kick in the morning because I would have to go down and go pick up Stephen, because we would go to, we'd go leave at a call time. Call time was like 6 a.m. or whatever. And we'd go and we'd get the van and the cars and all the equipment. And we'd drive over to where the shoot would be, and then I'd go pick up Stephen. I'd have to go back and pick up like an hour or 2 hours later to come back to be on set. And I got the biggest kick out of his assistant, America, who would be in the hotel lobby, and I would be like, "Good morning, America!" And of course, everyone would look at me like, "What are you, nuts?" But I did it intentionally because, again, I'm a jackass. And she was like, "Oh, good morning." But it was just, again, anecdotal stories about the road trip and the adventure of day tripping with Stephen He and Heinz Verified. So today, our good friend Don, the idea guy who's here, I knew of Bill Williams. And he sent me a picture today, and I will share it once I receive it. But let's just put it this way. It definitely is connected to the whole Heinz Verified thing. See, I've got my Heinz verified glass bottle, the traditional glass bottle. This came from Chicago, from the actual Heinz place where they're now housed since they're no longer in Pittsburgh. But that is from there. But the story is something related to Heinz that Don relayed to me, and we talked about today, and I think it's funny, and I am excited about it. So we will find out and deal with that accordingly. So Heinz Thursday, as I said, and I've talked about, so please like this channel. You're here watching. There's 3 of you and 2 likes. What the hell? Hit like. Subscribe to the Ransanity channel, please, because I need to get the subs up to 1,000 because you can't monetize till you get to 1,000. You know, this one has 10,000 because it's the radio station, and it was cool, and people were here for the music, and they're probably not here for me. They come here and go, what's this jackass doing? I'm leaving, but that's okay. I'll keep going. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to do it at 11 o'clock at night, though, because like this person said, I'm a daytime viewer, but thanks, twinned rope. See, he's a daytime, and that's okay. Be a daytime viewer. They'll be live at night, and then I'll repurpose them. We talked about Heinz, and we talked about Brian Wilson, so that was the unfortunate Brian Wilson. I do remember the Beach Boys were great. I saw them a few times. Garden State Arts Center was the first time I ever saw them, and it was a fun show. You know, it was good. It was summery. It was sort of like going to a Jimmy Buffett concert. You know, everyone's in their Hawaiian shirts and dancing, having fun drinks, and all around interesting time. There is a song that me and Joe Canavan, a buddy again from New Jersey, where I could swear the line in Catch a Wave. One of the lines, it's you'll have to listen to it, but it sounds like they say "suck a boop," and I'm just like, is that what it's saying? It's sort of like in the background chorus. You have to really listen to it. I'm sure it's not, but maybe it is. One of those little Easter eggs. That's always what I heard. So, again, according to me. Like and subscribe. You saw the forklift, so I finally did that. How was that video? Was that okay? Too long? It was a little rough because my editing, I wasn't really filming intentionally. It was in my pocket, so I didn't get the flow the way I would have liked to. Again, I overthink editing. I'm thinking like Quentin Tarantino making like an epic, my Opus Dei every time I want to make a 30-second video. Oh, I've got to have this, and oh, I needed this B-roll. Oh, and I should have this, and that's where I get hung up. I don't make the videos very well because I need to learn how to produce them better. So sort of plan so I can sort of have the opening, the body, and the close, and kind of wrap it together. So that's something I need to work on, and I'll try my best. So please bear with me and let me know how those things look, if they are crappy or not. Because maybe they are, I don't know. Full moon tonight, so if you're feeling a little crazy because your water is being pulled, because we're mostly water, being pulled by the gravitational force of the moon. So that is why the name lunatic and lunacy, because we're water stretching us, pulling us, making us crazy. That's why there's more people in emergency rooms on full moons and everything else, because people just lose their minds. So some people are affected by it more than others. I definitely know when it's a full moon. Usually about 3 days before, I can tell, I feel it. I definitely have this kind of weird energy that I can feel from the full moon. And I know it's not some hippy dippy, like, oh my God, like peace, love, and happiness. But I definitely know when there's a full moon, so I must be one of those lunatic people. Today was National Corn on the Cob Day. Didn't have any corn on the cob. It was, in fact, German Chocolate Day. Had some German chocolate cake. Tomorrow, Lovin' Day. You can Google it. I was just going to leave that one go. Child Labor Day. And I think that's prevention of child labor day, as opposed to make your kid work hard today. Child labor. Get to it. Peanut butter cookie day. I will definitely have some peanut butter cookies tomorrow night, since I can stop and pick those up, and those are easy. And then jerky day. Oh man, meat sticks. Who doesn't love meat sticks? you know, so we'll see about jerky. I don't know if we'll have some jerky for tomorrow night. I will keep you posted to the water meter drama about what's going on with that, and I will let you know if I do in fact get new tires tomorrow. And I'll get that. Maybe I'll videotape my tire experience with Ben and company at Discount Tire Warehouse, and my Buckeye Donut experience, because again, Buckeye Donuts is the prevalent. Now there's two Buckeye Donuts. See, remember I talked about Planks on Parsons, and that they're family that at some point split, and there's a Planks on Parsons, there's a Planks on High Street, there's a Planks in Grove City, but they're all different, I believe. There's also two Buckeye Donuts. Now there's the Buckeye Donuts on campus, but there's also a Buckeye Donuts on the south side. Both Buckeye Donuts, same logo, same mascot, but they are also estranged and not the same people. Not run by the same people, not owned by the same people, but I think again it's sort of that estranged family dynamics where at some point Buckeye Donuts went and split up, and I'm Buckeye Donuts, and so I will be probably going to that'll be a mystery. I don't know yet, because I live close to the campus one, but where the radio station was is close to the south side one. Don't know. We'll see. Parking's easier at the south side one. Campus parking one's not so easy to get to. Campus is open 24/7. South side, definitely not. I don't think you'd want to be there 24/7, just because it's the south side. Not that it's bad and all, but that's what's going on there. So that'll be my day tomorrow, and then I have labor all day tomorrow. I'll be laboring. Working on the house I'm working on, and the second house I'm working on, and the third one, and some of the other things that I have going on work-wise. Tomorrow is Thursday, right? Yes, tomorrow is Thursday. So that's about that. So again, thank you so much. Appreciate you for being here. I hope you enjoy this. I will get better every day. I'll get more organized and have it more honed in. And more specific, a timeline. But it does sound good, doesn't it? It makes it feel like, I'm going to actually improve. I won't. I mean, I will, but it's not like I'm going to have to get more comfortable with a camera. This is easy. I've been doing this for 30 plus years. So anyway, Don had suggested that I put something that's an end thing. So on the ones that will go up on Randsanity, there'll probably be an opening clip and a closing clip, and it'll have some other things. But for now, there's stills I can put into the Blackmagic and make it work a little bit better, or put something on the thing to do an end card. But for now, we're just going to do the normal. We're going to fade to black, and that works. And also, I'm going to start looking and seeing what I can do music-wise on YouTube, if I can. I mean, because if we talk about songs, I can maybe link to them or give you like playlists. Because they do. I listen to YouTube music. I don't really do Spotify. Sorry. I know Spotify playlists are a big thing. But I do YouTube playlists. And as I've mentioned before, I don't pay for a subscription, because basically advertising is what paid the bills through the radio station for all those years. So I just can't bring myself to spending the $10 a month. So I'd rather just listen to the commercials and hit yes, I'm still listening, or hit skip after, a minute of listening to something about, my boner being bad because I need to have some vitamin supplement or whatever. So, I maybe I have targeted ads. They know my age, so I'm getting targeted ads for me. I wouldn't be surprised, but whatever. What are you going to do, right? Our phones are spying on us, and AI is going to kill us, just so you know. And we'll dive into that one of these days, because AI did suggest on YouTube topics. You could talk about Randsanity, you could talk about this, and how AI is. I was like, seriously? Like, you really are like, you listened that much that you gave me a topic that I could start doing? Like, I was like, wow, that even frightens me more than being frightened. I just saw a Gemini Live commercial, and it's like, she's like videoing a spider, and Gemini says, oh, let me tell you how to tear that spider. I'm like, okay, see, that's just getting, it's coming fast and furious where you're going to have these assistants. Agents is what they're referenced as. So we're going to have agents. So, yeah. And I'm not, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to fall down some conspiracy rabbit hole and become crazy. But it's just, it's interesting because it's definitely this evolution that we're all being part of in this grand experiment of artificial intelligence. So I will continue my weary eye, keeping a weary eye on artificial intelligence and learn it because you should know your enemy. So, again, friends, thank you so much. Do kind things. Oh, my kind thing today. I didn't do one. Crap. There wasn't really any opportunity for doing anything kind today. See, that's because I need a list of the things I'm supposed to do. I didn't do a good deed today. I didn't yell at the lady from the water company. Maybe that was a good deed. Let's see. I didn't go to Starbucks, so I didn't have to deal with that. I let someone cut in front of me at Home Depot. Does that count? I mean, they were going for the register and I didn't just push them out of the way. So I'm going to count that as a good deed. Okay? I didn't push them out of the way, go to Home Depot, the register today, so I'm counting that as my good deed. That was my good deed today. My selfish good deed. I let people cut in front of me driving, but that's only because, they're going to crash if I don't. But yes, I let someone go in front of me, willingly go in front of me in line at Home Depot. So, all right, friends, thank you so much. Please like this video, this one, the thing you're watching, and then subscribe to that one, and you can like it as well. And then also go to the Heinz Verified, which is in the description, and I believe it's just at Heinz Verified, and show tomorrow. So I won't be on until afterwards, so you have to watch it so we could talk about it and go, yeah, I saw you, you were on for 18 seconds. Be like, yeah, and that's why I'm the co-star, because I was on for 18 seconds. I mean, that's how that works, right? Fade to black. Have a good night.